everybody, welcome back to Stained Glass School. We're working on our Peace Dove, and we've made a couple of videos about getting the pattern all figured out. You can go back and check those out. And yesterday we cut the pattern out painstakingly with a special pair of pattern shears, and you guys learned about that. And today I want to go over how you take these millions of pieces of paper and turn them into a bunch of nice pretty cut glass. And so just to get it out of the way, if you notice, if anybody's paying attention, I didn't cut the borders out in a paper pattern because there's no need to waste my time with that. You go to the hardware store and get you one of these little steel rods, and then a little slider nut and then get a little wing nut on it, and you can set your gauge to exactly the width that you're gonna need. So I'll set that. You want to make sure you're straight up and down and holding your square down nice and tough. And you probably, if you're this far along, you've got a pair of Grosing pliers. But this is such a nice wide piece. We'll just go ahead and break that off. And so from gauge cutting, we'll have our borders exactly perfect. And this is a good time to show you. You always want to make sure your cut pieces, and see how you can see a little bit of black line on each side of that piece of glass. That is the exact perfect size, and I know that my gauge is set right and I'm good to go. So that's how I'm going to do the borders, and not much discussion about that, so moving on. Here is a nice piece of wispy glass. It's hard to see through, but it's got all kinds of nice wispy patterns. So I looked at the whole piece of glass and I thought, you know what, this general area right here would be really nice for the wing. It's got some patterns that flowing out, and this is nice and solid for a good white body. And then these I selected for the tail feathers because the striations are going. So you just kind of pick where you want things to be, figure that out. Don't just grab a piece of glass and start cutting into it. My goodness, don't waste all that beautiful texture inside. So I try to make the most of that, and then I will spend the next several hours, you know, I bring this over, trace it off, and then we'll cut it all out. There's not really a lot to go over, except that when you are cutting, if you're working with pattern pieces that you've traced, you want to make sure that the glass cutter is on this inside of this line and not the outside, because this is the paper edge and this is just the thickness of the marker out here. So always keep that in mind. Once again, thanks for joining me, and I'm going to do some of the work on camera silently so you can kind of see what the process looks like, but it's a lot of cutting. It's going to take me several hours to get every single one of those pieces cut out.